Hello students, this is our lesson on Google Docs and word processing within a Google Doc. The first thing we're doing is going to your Google Classroom, which your teacher or myself has already set up for you. And you want to find the assignment called Google Typing Lesson. You do not need to click on the name of the assignment. You click on the gray box. That's the link to the Google document. So for example, up here you can see that that's a link. And the Google Typing Lesson also has a link. So click on that link and it'll take you to a page that looks like this. You may or may not have the keyboard. It's fine if you don't, but you'll have a Google document. The first thing I want to teach you is how to enlarge the size of the document so it's easier for you to see what you're typing. Many students will change the font size to like 20 and then not understand why the teacher gets mad. This is an academic writing. You do not change the font size at all. If you're going to change the font size, your teacher will give you permission. So assume you don't have permission unless the teacher specifically says. So you're just going to keep it in Arial 11. That is academic font. In order to be able to see easier, you're going to want to go over to the 100 symbol over here, and you're going to click 125 or 150, and that's going to increase the size of the document so you don't have to change your font. Go ahead and give that a try. All right, so see how that works now? Excellent. What I'd like you to do at this time is I'm going to give you some instructions and I want you to listen to those instructions with your hands off the keyboard. And then I'm going to give you time to type. Please do not type while I'm trying to talk to you because then you're not going to be listening and you're going to miss something important. So what we're going to work on now is we are working on typing skills. So we are at the top corner here. You can see the cursor. And what I want you to do is you're simply, in a moment, going to type, "This is the title." Now, sometimes your teacher might want you to put your name at the beginning, but your name's in the, should be right up here where the title of the assignment is, the document name. So you don't always have to do that. Okay, so type, "This is the title," and then stop. Now that you have the title typed out, I'd like you to, we're going to move down two lines. Now many students, what they do is they hold down the space bar and watch the cursor going across like that. Move down to the next line, unless you're like in first grade, which you're not. So don't do that. What you're going to do instead is you're going to just tap the Enter key that's right over here. You're going to tap it 2 times. Go ahead. Now that we've moved down 2 spaces, we are going to type our first paragraph. Now, in order to type this paragraph, we need to indent. And many students, again, hold down the spacebar key, but you don't need to do that. Let's do. You're going to simply tap the Tab key over here. See that on your keyboard? All right, you're just going to tap the Tab key to indent 1 space. Just one, just one. Don't over-indent, just one. So we're now going to type our first sentence. This is the first sentence of my first paragraph and period. All right, go ahead and type that. Teacher, you can pause the video and check that they have done what they're supposed to. So now that you have typed that, I want to talk to you about good typing practice. Many students would now do our next sentence without putting a space. This is incorrect. That is wrong typing right there. You need a space. Just like when you write and you put a space, I hope you put a space between your sentences. You need to put 1 space between your sentences. So go ahead and type. Oh, sorry, let me type this one. Notes if you're wondering why I keep looking over to the side. Oh my, what am I typing there? Okay, so we've now, what I'd like you to do now, please, is go ahead and type the second sentence, which says, I need to make sure I type correctly and make sure I indent my paragraphs. We're going to go ahead and pause the video so that you have time to type that. Now, notice that you did not have to hit the enter key for the letters to move down to the next line. That happens automatically. You don't have to hit enter at the end of the line to get the letters to move down. Let's type our third sentence for this paragraph, which is, I can use the back arrow to undo something I want to something I erased. There we go. All right, go ahead and type that, and I will explain to you what the back arrow is. So the back arrow is right over here on the left side. It's a little backward going arrow. Now this is if you are trying to highlight something, like let's say you're trying to highlight and you over highlight, you over highlight, and you accidentally hit the delete key and then you're freaking out. Oh my goodness, I've lost my essay. Oh no, and you freak out. The undo button stops your freaking out. So you just click undo and it's back. Okay. Now you might wonder, what's this arrow? This is the redo button. So it redoes whatever just happened. But we want to undo. All right, go ahead and give that a try. Well, what I'd like to do now, so let's go ahead and move on to our next skill. Our next skill is to drop down to the next line. We're only going to drop down one line, not two though, because we're starting a new paragraph. So you're going to be tapping the enter key and then the tab key to drop down one line and indent. Drop down one line, tab key to indent. Now let's type our next paragraph. This is my second paragraph. Go ahead. All right, so notice that there's no space between these paragraphs. That is not academic typing if you put a space, so don't put a space. What we want to do now is we're going to learn about the enter key. I tap the enter key to move down one space. Tap the tab key to indent. Go ahead and type that. All right, so now our last skill, well, one of our last skills here is something I think you know, but I want to make sure you know. Let's say, looking right up here, I have misspelled a word, and we know that because it's red underlined. Now, I will warn you, not everything that's misspelled gets underlined, but if it does underline it, you simply click on the word that's misspelled, and you right-click, which is the bottom of your touchpad, and it'll make a suggestion. And sometimes that's right and sometimes it's wrong. If it's wrong, you need to go get a dictionary and figure out what the word is or ask your teacher for help. But if you have red underlines, you need to fix them. Unless it's like a word that it doesn't know. They don't know every word in the English language. They only know the most common words. So if it's red underlining your name because your name is not that common, then just leave it alone. It doesn't know. It doesn't know every single word. It knows most common words. Okay, now we're going to do something exotic and exciting. Now that we've got our 2 paragraphs typed, I'm going to teach you how to center. So let's get your mouse and your cursor back to the title where it says this is the title. Go ahead and click there. And what we're going to do is I'm going to teach you how to center without hitting the space bar 400 times, because it's a no-no. We don't hit the space bar a whole bunch of times. Right up here in the center, toward the center, you will see these different lines. This one says center. We're going to click that, and it automatically centers your title. See that? Go ahead and give it a try. Now, you don't want to center your entire essay because that looks really weird, okay? That's not academic. That's awful. So I'm going to undo that, okay? I want my paragraphs to look academic. The last thing I want to talk to you about is when you go to turn this in, you don't need to share this to turn it in, unless your teacher has you sharing it with someone who didn't create the document. But overall, in order to turn it in, all you need to do, and I'm going to show you, is you simply go back to your Google Classroom and you see this blue button that says turn in, and you want to click it. Now, I will warn you, with most assignments, when you click that blue button, you cannot go back and change anything that you've done after you turn it in. So make sure you are ready to turn it in before you turn it in, because once you turn it in, most of the time, unless the teacher has it set for special, most of the time you cannot undo things that you've done. All right, so now that we've learned this, what I'd like you to do is make sure that your your practice is fantastic. And then I'd like you to please go ahead and turn it in and then wait for your teacher's next instructions.